I don't know. It's a it is indeed a
Good evening, one and all. We're going to be doing a little bit of a different stream tonight. It's going to be a little bit of a planning session, as much as the kind of casual stuff that I've been doing in the past, as well as maybe a little bit of other creative stuff along the way. I don't really know what it's going to entail, but tonight is about trying to strategize for the future. And so you might hear me ramble about some ideas, things like that. Greetings, Jess. Hope you're doing well. There's volcanoes that have ruined Tilted Towers on the OG, I assume. There are a couple of areas that got hit. Well, you got to watch out for them volcanoes. They're quite dangerous stuff. Don't build anywhere near a volcano. It should be fairly obvious, but there are some people that build in the middle of the caldera of a volcano. That does exist in this world. Apparently, it's really good fertile land for crops and whatnot, so it's not a bad idea for farms. I put a tweet about it where the blades are in the Discord. Good to know. Much appreciated. By the way, Jess, how are you doing? Okay, there we go. So earlier I started the process of trying to come up with some ideas, but I'm leaving it as a blank sheet for right now, and then I'll add the two together later on, or maybe I'll bring some of them over for tonight. I'm keeping it a fairly simple structure. We're keeping a Sublime Text file, and like I said, keeping it kind of stupidly simple. Who puts a chest in the bathtub? Logic in this game is unique. Now, today has been a little bit of a recovery day for me. I have been traveling, and I got back, and then promptly got ill. That was no fun. The first stream that I did was going to be followed up by 2-3 other ones, and then lo and behold, I ended up getting ill, and I realized, oh, that's not going to work. Yes, jump. Jumping is dangerous, don't you get it? The more pro the player, the more dangerous it is to jump. Ooh, duck. Aha, proposition. Equip a sprite. Wow, that is quite the proposition. You make a hard bargain. I guess that could be doable. I don't know what your bargain is, but, we'll give it a shot. Gotta find a... Oh, look at that! It is a sprite! Now tell me what the deal is. Have some fun. You have to travel with a sprite. This is quite the fun. Are you sure you're right in the head? I mean, you are a duck with hands after all, so maybe you're not. But somehow running around with this little thing on my back just doesn't quite seem if that is the most logical way to have fun. I know you don't have to be logical to have fun, but somehow I feel a little bored. In fact, I don't know if I want to go through with this. And besides, you said that you're pretty good at taking orders. I'll show you what I think about that. I'm just going to stop right here. $199. This is why I think of your deal. Okay, fine. You struck a hard deal. Much appreciated. I don't know if I want to keep you around. I don't like the tone of voice that duck has. It seems a little mocking. By the way, only high quality entertainment around here. Ooh, vault key. Oh, there's the... Oh, the vault's a long ways away. I kind of want to explore this area rather than just go straight for the vault, so I'm going to do that. Ooh, somebody got shot around here. So, there's a couple of things that I want to try and do for this summer. One, the primary thing that I want to get done is I want to finish up the first draft of the book that I've been working on. I got a lot of ideas that I feel are good, but I haven't tested it on anybody yet. And so that's the next thing. I have to finish the first draft, have to test it on people, then go into the editing portion of it. I am editing it along the way, but I mean like doing a hardcore edit, change things up. I had to probably be over there to unlock this whole area. Oh, well. Nah, let's go do it anyway. I got a rift. All right, is it visible yet? It looks like it might be. So now that means we get out of here. Oh, I get out of here. Yeah, getting hurt along the way, part of the deal. By the way, little sprite, what benefit are you again? Oh, that's right. You give me the better items. Or the better chance of getting items. Ooh, and health pack. Very handy. Hey, greetings there, Jersey. How you doing? But so the first thing is the book, to get that all squared away. The other thing, which has been a side quest that I want to try and get finalized sooner rather than later, is the game. So I've been getting the files kind of squared away again. Going to be probably doing some of the coding live. I'll probably be doing more of the sprites and the story stuff. So I got this general short game story figured out. I just got to figure out how to code in the story elements, because I know how to do an intro to each level. I don't know how to add in story pauses yet, and so that's one of the things I got to try and do. Actually, wait a minute. Let me add that on to... Come on. Button. Okay. Story pauses for JavaScript game. Okay. That's been added to the list. Oh, look, a level 2. That's wonderful. You little green fellow, green woodland critter. I hope that you give me some of those mobility boots. Probably not going to happen. What are you making a list for? Today's a planning session. trying to figure out what the summer is going to entail. And so I already have a list. I'm trying to write down things as I think about them of things that need to be done. Where'd you go? You guys are running all over the place. You know, I'm not really liking the situation here. Let's inspect from up here. Okay, one of them's swimming away. The other one's being shot at. Oh, there he is. Wonderful. Oh, ouch, that hurt. What is that? Another vault key. I'm picking up all sorts of vault keys. Hello. There you are. How dare you shoot a wolf on a rock by a river, its natural habitat? That's not very kind to that character. So anyway, planning stuff. Got to figure out the what is one of the other things that has to happen with that. So the story pauses are one thing. What the heck? Oh, you're the gummy thing. Yeah, okay. We'll do that. I know, little green guy. We went so far to... no, we're going to keep you here. Look what I do. I get in trouble for you. You better pay off. Maybe make a 3D figure of your book character. I don't know if the book character would be a good one. But you know, that does make another idea. Another option that can happen. So 3D printing. Oh, that's not good. 3D printing, but I can't. Milo's too complex. That doesn't mean that it's impossible. It just means, oh, come on. This is not good. We'll come back to that thought. Oh, golly, you're still there. Come on. Whew. Okay, a little bit more distance. That's good. That's right. I can use the forever sprint. So let's see what other 3D prints could be done. Because that 3D printer is just gaining dust. It's not like it's a very good 3D printer, but it is something where you can do some pretty interesting things with it. And most of it's making molds. So I can make a 3D print and turn it into a mold, of which I can do plaster primarily. There's some other options too, but that's kind of, a little bit more challenging. I actually tried to figure out how to cast silver at one point. Not me, myself doing the casting, but trying to work with a local smith to try and pull it off. And it should have been an easy thing to do, and the guy decided that, nah, he didn't want to pull it off. And so I can understand that. Lego characters are too done at this point. But there are some other story things that could be done. I'm just trying to figure out what that would be. I'll leave it open-ended for right now. So let me go duck into this building and make that quick note. 3D printing. Something small and medium. Need ideas. The first 3D object that I printed was a bit of a dud. I had a heck of a time trying to get my 3D printer operational because I got one that was fairly early on, and the kind of the all the clever things that people have done since then to make them work really nice and smoothly didn't really exist for when this one was made. But it doesn't mean that it can't be used for some interesting and intricate prints. But primarily, it does focus on medium prints. Medium prints really do seem to be where it excels the most. I don't want you, duck. So far, I've been glad I survived. I could have been over very, 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 very fast. Let's see here. Storm's coming too fast. I'll write down the next note here in a moment. All right, little green sprite. We've gone a long way together. There he is. There's 3 people. Too late for that one. Oh, that's not good. Too much damage. Gonna use this. Can't use that anymore. Man, I had 2 vault keys. I did absolutely nothing with them. Alright, so I'm going to have to go back. That's good. Where's he going to come from? Yes, that's a blue chest, but no one needs that right now because we're in the final fight. Look around the corner. I want to get him as he runs out. Shut up that music down there. Let him do the extraction. It's bait. Skeletor! Come back, Skeletor! Yes! You're so evil! Live bait. That was very profitable. And look, I got away with the little green guy. Wow, I feel like we were on such a great adventure together. Me and little green man, we went all over the place. How very, very special. Okay, so back to getting down that idea here. Okay, so, that does remind me. So this is going to be for JavaScript game. So we need the story pause elements. We need moving character, and I do need to do and to actually script the story. It's a very short story, but I still need to script it because I have the general idea, not enough. 3D printing. Let's see here. Something small and something medium. In both of these, I need some sort of idea. Animation. Fish animation and Lego animation. I also need to do the it's not a daily, it's something else that I was working on. It's actually the next iteration of the Blender challenge. But it's one that I was doing when I was traveling, working on a very simple laptop, didn't have a whole lot of options, and I just was trying to make something within about an hour and just getting the practice down. Just do a quick little thing of whatever within an hour. That probably needs to make some sort of comeback. But I gotta say, this one, I'm having a bit of a problem with this. And let me explain why. Animation is something I deeply love. I am an animator at heart. I also realize my limits. And the last couple of years, I've been learning my limits. It's not necessarily the ability to try and learn to do this stuff. It's the time. And my time is very limited, which frustrates me because there are some big projects I want to do. But that's become an issue because, well, I learned something. When you are doing animation for a project, you need something very, very important. And if you don't provide it, somebody else will. Story. Story is where I've been putting the majority of my time and effort over the last couple of years. And it was when I noticed this. And story, story is far more difficult to try and pull off for a project than I was originally expecting to do. I am a storyteller at heart, but I thought I could try and do it all. I wanted to try and tell the story and then do the animation and whatnot, no problem. Well, that is until you realize you don't have the time to do it. Then you have to try and pick and choose your poison. So this has become the main focus. So let me actually structure these in orders of importance here. So we have story, the number one thing, and right here we also have project next. That is to be announced later. But this is where the bigger projects are. This is where the majority of my focus has been the last couple of months. Whether or not people are excited about that, that's debatable. But that is the main focus. This right here is a side project. 3D printing is also a side project. Animation is a secondary focus. So it still has importance, but in order to try and pull off a good animation, you have to have a good story. And here's my limitation, okay? I cannot tell a short story. I struggle horribly with trying to tell a short story because, well, to me, everything that is worth telling takes a substantial amount of time to do the build-up. And then when you have that build-up, you have to coast it a little bit to kind of justify the effort. So if you do a long build-up, you better coast it for a while, and then you can have the payoff. And with that, you have hopefully a very successful story that you can then turn into an animation. But if the story doesn't work, you are left in a bit of a bind. Because then you, one, sound like you can't tell a story. And two, your animation will suck and people will think that your animation is pitiful because your story sucked. So, thus, I wanted to put the majority of my time and effort into mastering the process of storytelling. So that way, when I do tell a good story, then I can put a lot of time and effort into the animation. Thing is, the big thing, the one that I really, really, really want to get to is this one. That Project Next. This one is where everything, for me, is kind of like leading to. And that doesn't mean that Milo doesn't either. It is like irrelevant. Milo has, get this, 5 parts. Remember when I said that I don't know how to tell a short story? There's 5 parts to this story to tell the story arc the way that I want it to be. Project Next, this is 4 parts. Kind of get some of my problems here. I plan big because that's the only way I can think. So then imagine trying to come up with an idea for an animation. And the more you work on it, the more silly it starts to sound. And then when you start to hit roadblocks, that silliness just starts to compound. And you start thinking, why am I doing this? It's not working. That's where this comes in. You need something to help make this work. What the heck? Okay. You need something to try and make the other animations work. That's where the dailies come in. Because you can't surrender animation if you plan to do something that is going to require at least some level of artwork to be used either for illustrations or to help plan out bigger projects. By the way, I would love, 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 love to turn this. This is not going to happen. Okay, I cannot promise this. There's other things I can promise, like Silverado, pulling that off. This one I cannot promise. I want to make this an anime. I've been thinking about this one a long time, since 2013. Technically before that. My very first sketch of it is from before then. But the first time I actually had a story was 2013. But I want to turn this into like a really good project. And that's why I'll never be able to pull this off until it's finished. And then I can start to say, yes, this is how we're going to try and pull it off. Until then, you know what? If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. No one will know if it fails, and maybe that will be just fine. So, in levels of importance, first off, Milo. Second off, technically, would be the fish animation. Why is that taking priority over the Lego animation? Because this one technically came first. So we have 1, 2, 3. And technically this would be 4. Hey, greetings there, Forgiven. How are you doing? Long time no see. How is life? Then JavaScript game. This one technically is also a level 2, you could say. It's happening sooner because this one was almost done. So let me change this level of priorities. Let's put this level 2. And this is also level 2. Get rid of these. I know, right? Doing good. That is dandy to hear. Sometime you and I need to catch up. I like short stories. The less I know about the characters, the more relatable it can be if their actions in the shorts are reasonable. So, understandable. A lot of people do favor that sort of structure. A lot of people. My brain just doesn't work like that. I'm the type of guy that sits down and watches the Hobbit movies on the extended from start to finish, and I am enthralled with it. That length of story is great. I love it. Problem is, that's how my brain functions, so thus, it takes forever and a day to kind of playing stuff out. By the way, the number of stories that I have like this, at this point, if I was to say, like, here's the complete, story arcs for each of these massive stories, I think I got about 10. So if Milo does well, and I'm not saying does well like, it becomes a world bestseller. I'm not saying that. That's not going to happen. If you know anything about the publishing world, that is never going to happen. But it does mean that it gives motivation to try and pull off something else. If no one cares, well, you know what? This project goes into hibernation, and I have to debate what to do next. Hey, greetings there, Bastion. How are you doing? I'm on the 3rd Hobbit movie, says Forgiven. Haven't seen it yet. May watch it tomorrow. Are you watching the extended? The theatrical releases were horrible, but the extended is phenomenal. When I saw the movies in theater, I hated them. And I was part of the bandwagon of people saying, these are awful, these are terrible. Why did they do this? Until I watched the original Lord of the Rings in the theatrical version. Oh my goodness, those were also terrible. They were all made for extended. And if you don't see it in extended, you miss so much of the story. Yes, extended. Yeah, finally. Someone else who actually is showing appreciation for the extended. I had a couple of arguments with some YouTubers about that a couple of years ago, and they had no idea just what they were missing, just because they were so used to hating on stuff. I'm doing good, says Bastion. Well, dandy. Okay, so I'll come back to this during the next break in the game, but have to keep thinking of some things to keep adding to this, because this is the plan for this next year. I'm finding that my year kind of starts in June. I bought All Extended. It was a pack on Amazon for like $40 for 4K. That's a pretty good deal. Nice. Oh, all 6. Sensational. I've raved about how great the Hobbit films are for a long time. And I find that there's a lot of people that just, they let the internet speak too much for them, and they just hate on the films, and they've never seen the extended. The extended is where all the story is, which is, why did they even make a theatrical release to begin with? That infuriates me. The story is not made for that sort of concept. It has to be big. It has to be grand. That's the only way that you're going to get that stuff to work and pan out. Oh, that's another thing I have to add to that. The other one, which is the drawings. Finish up the Milo drawing. That may be this week, because that's pretty easy. I should turn this to art. And then we also have the t-shirt. That, I do have the whole thing set up. I just have to turn the camera around and do it. And then I can say I finally did it after 2 years. Come on. This chair probably needs to be replaced. It's one of those other cheap Costco chairs, and this one broke a little bit sooner than some of the others. And yes, I use a cheap Costco $20, actually I think it's $30 chair at this point. The reason being, it doesn't hurt my back. Every gaming chair or office chair that I've sat in has caused my back to like freak out and cause all sorts of pain. And I kept thinking that my back was going bad. And then it turned out to be twofold. One, it was my bed. My bed was had terrible springs, and so I ended up getting a much softer bed, but that didn't work, so I got one with supports. Then finally the pain disappeared, but then it returned, and it turned out it was the chair. So now I'm sitting on a $20 chair because for whatever reason it doesn't cause the pain, but it does mean you have to replace it a little bit more often. Ugh. By the way, folks, if you find anything of merit around here, consider giving a like on that. And if you dislike any of the stuff that goes on this channel or whatnot, feel free to dislike, which is kind of weird if you think about it, that we don't have a whole lot of new interaction. And so it's not like we have people that come in and are like trying to, downvote bomb the stream. So I'm grateful for that. But I do find it interesting how everything stopped in many regards. And like we were on a bit of a growth curve on November, December. And then it very quickly capped off. And we're in this time period where most streamers notice there's absolutely no growth whatsoever. So, technically, the voting up and down doesn't really influence much. But it does say one thing, and this is the thing that matters most. It means you're flesh and blood. Comments also help, but the voting seems to be one of the easier ways to be able to know for certain that somebody was here. Because I see people that mentioned in chat, but not everyone does chat, and I have noticed that. Aha! The chicken. He didn't want to fight me in the storm. Poor fella. He didn't realize how easy it would have been to get me. And how do I get out of this place? Let's go the other way. He went one way. We're going to go the other. But anyway, the growth thing is interesting because a lot of people are kind of like stressing about it. I don't really stress about it. And the reason being is actually because I know this is a dying industry. I didn't get into this because I was trying to get into the industry. I do it because, trying to make a difference. And, you're not going to make a massive difference if you have hundreds or thousands of people. You make a bigger difference if it's actually a smaller group. And so it's not like I'm trying to grow the channel by leaps and bounds. Honestly, that could get a little bit problematic if it did. I've seen what happens to people when they start seeing growth. So, anyway, all that to say, the likes aren't to try and get this channel to grow, is trying to find ways to have an idea of how many people are impacted. Isn't just twitching fun? I won't necessarily say that it is out of fun. The most fun that I have is the feeling that I am of some service, either helping to give, either trying to give some level of entertainment, storytelling, helping to convey philosophical, theological issues, tutoring, the whole gamut. The fun aspect doesn't really exist for me. Hasn't ever since I began. There's one way that I would actually have fun doing this, like hardcore fun, because it doesn't mean that I hate it. It's just that I'm not having the enjoyment a lot of other streamers will claim to have. And I do say claim because when you start to talk to them, you realize they're not really enjoying it. Because they're doing it out of personal, trying to chase something else entirely. Monetization. They're chasing money like no tomorrow. And that's why it's fun for them to begin with. Because they're like, oh, I'm doing something that I enjoy, and I'm getting paid for it. Until you realize it's just pennies. And it's like, wait a minute. I wasted that much electricity just by turning on the PC. If I want to have what a lot of streamers would say is fun, it would be actually just going down to the coffee shop, working down there. That to me is fun. But not necessarily impactful or meaningful. John Wick. I plan to do some twitching and don't expect to don't expect to make any money of it. Yeah, that's it's kind of the story of the Twitch world. It will be more to give me some motivation, as when someone may be watching, I won't procrastinate as much. There's a lot of people that do lean into that. It does work a bit. I won't say it's foolproof. There's some... you can end up procrastinating in different ways. So let me put it this way. Every one of us is going to be struggling with procrastination. If I wanted, well, and this is going to happen. Actually, I will say this: there's going to be a time period of about towards when I get done with closer to finishing up the Milo story. You're going to see me disappear for a time, and it is because I am trying to get it finalized. I have done a bigger story in the past where I was experimenting and was able to pull it off within 2 weeks. If I really wanted to be productive, I would cut off all social media, including streaming. I would basically confine myself to 2 places: the coffee shop to be productive in public, and then also making sure that I cut off all internet ties, basically, to try and get that as up to speed as possible. There we go. Wonderful. Not quite the best one that I want, but hey, it's something. Little green buddy, do better next time, please. But when that happens, I'm able to get really fast with productivity, and that may start to happen from time to time. But you know, one of the problems that happens with that, any sort of streaming momentum you get, even if it's just a little bit, it climbs, and then it gets cut off when that happens, and then it crashes. I've done it before. Not to try and be productive, but because work kind of demanded it. And each time I've noticed this becomes a routine. And so, if you want to try and do some things that are going to be stream related in the future, you kind of got to be careful about that. It's kind of a bit of a problem, actually. It forces people to kind of stay trapped in the streaming world. That's why I don't really try and focus on it. I try and keep it as a tool. But that's why in the future you will see me take probably about a month off. Hey, buddy, welcome. Oh, you're not staying. But you did show me where the enemy is. Hello. Hey, I was trying to help you. Ooh, bullseye. No Fortnite audio. If that's, see here. That is, that's not supposed to happen. Let me see here. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just a second. Wow. Wow. Okay, that's frustrating. Can you hear things now? And can you hear the music in the background? Oh my goodness.
You serious?
Well, well, well. I also need to change the volume on that. That volume is way too low. I can hear now. I just put my headphones on. Uh-huh. Y'all, I am having all sorts of audio issues. By the way, Silverado stopped working earlier today, too. I almost turned it off. So I think maybe in doing those changes is when that problem began. All of the computer issues. Oh, by the way, we do have the artwork that has come back to Silverado after 2 years of being out of service. Almost 2 years. It's been a long time. I think I disabled it 2 years ago, but we're in the process of getting artwork done. And a lot of it was because I got overwhelmed with trying to do that stuff. And we got Bastion here. All right, I need to completely heal up for this end fight here. Ooh, new boots. Oh, I need that first. I like that you can heal and slide at the same time. Oh, I wish I had the golden ones. This is kind of like the last round here. Between me and two others. Who is going to show themselves first? All right, let's see, I have to go this way. I do have the boots. Golly. That's not good. Oh, golly. Oh, that's not good. You can count? Wow, that's amazing! And you can dance like a child. Isn't that... I mean...
Isn't that just so cute? You're able to dance. You're able to count. To a very childish sounding piece of music.
All right, that's enough of that. Return to the lobby and pick up the bastion here. Go right here. Greetings, Sir Bastion. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Stand by just a second. I want to add one more thing here to the list here. Art, redeem, schedule. There we go. How's the summer been going so far?
It's been going well. Today I watched the new.
The new... I think you can cut out. Ping and Bastion. Let me see here. Open soundboard because I think I'm able to at least do this to see if wonder if you can hear that. Let's see here. Did your comms stop working? Oh, that was to the wrong person. That was to the whole game there. Okay, disregard. Maybe my internet is lagging a bit. That's possible. Okie dokie, but can you hear? And testing again. Oh, and he's got, now he's back. Testing 1, 2, 3.
All right, I can hear now. For some reason, it cut out.
Ah, okay. There we go. Dandy. Yeah, the internet for me has been actually acting up as well. Just before stream, I ended up troubleshooting for about half an hour.
But yeah, I was saying that summer's been nice. I watched the new He-Man movie today.
Ooh. How was it?
It for me, it's just barely about a 6 out of 10.
Ah.
And definitely high because of Skeletor.
I'm not entirely surprised. He has quite the following.
Yeah, yeah, they did a good job with him in the movie. I don't think he's on the same level as Davy Jones and Pirates of the Caribbean, but in CG, he looks fine. Good expressions with the skull.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to try and pull off a character like that when, you know, their structure is fairly rigid. That's what made Davy Jones so incredible, is that it was moist, and CG fails at moisture like that so much.
Yeah, for him, it was basically a guy in a suit with skull for a head. But he did a good job.
I've heard some
Give it a
people
show,
praising it constantly, and so I don't go to the movies enough anymore to really carry the opinion that I used to.
Yeah. I watched a spoiler-free review of the movie before I watched it. My dad's a big He-Man fan, so he wanted to watch it. And I agree with what the YouTuber said, that the script feels like it's, if the script was written by the original writers, it would seem it wants to be good, but then something happens and the script gets given to other people in the movie industry, and so
Yeah.
the jokes in it don't land or makes certain scenes not hold the weight that it should.
I'm not surprised. It's kind of Hollywood's tried and true strategy these days.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just realizing, well, always heard of it, but from watching this movie, I can see why people do not like human resources.
Yeah, understandable. I'm not a. When I was first in the business world of trying to work as an underling at places like Little Caesars or Disney or whatnot, human resources was code word for the place that you go to bully your coworkers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the main problem is that it stays too long in the story. Where the story is that, I guess the main synopsis, just what the story's about. Oh, here's Skeletor. Is that when he was young, Adam gets teleported to Earth to save him from Skeletor invading, and taking over his world. And so, some reason it never shows him having any adoptive parents or anything of that. He just grows up and is in HR.
Oof.
Gotta go.
That didn't go so well. You know, despite being a wolf, I do not travel very well on all fours.
Yeah, you can roll if you have if your pickaxe out and press the W button.
Oh, the
Just
pickaxe
roll.
has to be out. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, not W button, spacebar button. Go buy your card. I have 2,000 gold.
Ooh, rich man.
But yeah, they did a good job with Skeletor and his story. With what little story he has in his backstory.
Sounds like the type of
He
movie
just
that will
is evil.
probably become a bit of a cult classic then.
I don't know. Yeah, they actually make a reference to. Was there another live-action He-Man movie that was not good? The original actor for that had a cameo in it.
I never understood the He-Man lore.
Oh,
Wasn't
yeah, I've only watched
compelling to me.
an episode here and there in my childhood, but I guess it is just a guy going around in this world that's different from Earth and learning lessons while fighting a Saturday villain, Saturday cartoon villain.
Indeed. When I was growing up, a number of cartoon villains that were actually threatening was basically restricted to like just one show. Everything else was slapstick in one way or another, and which is great for kids, but it's terrible for the longevity of a franchise because it doesn't age well.
I think for Skeletor, he ages well. Just a goofy villain.
I know there's a massive fan base for Skeletor, which probably wouldn't be half as big if he wasn't so goofy in the show. And of course, all I've seen are like the meme sort of stuff of him.
Oh yeah, and then definitely that one meme of the rainbow in the background with music.
Oh, that played in the
They made a
movie?
reference.
Oh,
The music did, but not the them laughing to it. Actually, they did have a reference of the way that they laugh in the cartoon, but that's at the very end.
I remember when that came out in college, it was playing constantly. I don't know if it came out that year, but it definitely got its fame in that year, which was 2009. Very famous. Wait, was it 2009 or was it 2010? It's one of those two, because one of the other years it was the Nyan Cat.
Oh.
Card's right
But,
next to you.
Yeah, they pushed the HR joke a bit too far with that, and made him a bit too awkward. Heels.
One of the when I was a kid, I always heard about He-Man, but they never played it during a time frame that I could see it on Saturday cartoons. The time slots were always very weird, and I think that they stuck that one more towards the late evening, probably because the fan base was, older. But they did have a lot of other ones that played during Saturday, including lots of Bugs Bunny, the Flintstones, Jetsons, a lot of other classics, but not He-Man, which I find kind of weird that it was such a cultural sensation, and I wasn't a part of it in any way, shape, or form. Much appreciated.
Yeah, but because it was in my father's generation when it came out, he is a big fan of it. But modern day He-Man, best I know of it is when they had that new show and then they killed off He-Man.
Oh no. Didn't know about that.
Yeah, that was a big thing that a bunch of YouTubers started talking about. But it was in a show called He-Man, and they killed off He-Man.
I have the power. He's dead.
Basically. And then they handed it off to the lady friend that he has.
Oh, that was what was going on. Yeah, no. When you do stuff like that, it's so very blatant that you're trying to change an IP and trying to exploit it.
And another drama that it had before it even was released was that the director said that he wasn't going to do anything to He-Man, and that it was going to be strictly to the source material, and that was just a blatant lie.
Not surprising. A lot of directors lie. Or here's the other thing. They actually tell the truth, and then the company says, hey, you don't speak for us. We're changing this. And it's a little hard to tell which one it is at times.
From what I remember, I think it was on purpose.
Yeah, it's definitely believable.
Yeah. It's part of that subverting expectations.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Subverting expectations infuriates me so much. It's not a good plot line.
Yeah. That, and also I think they tried to make it canon to the original He-Man story. So that's modern He-Man.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that if that's how they treat the product, you can tell that they don't see much of a future for it. They're like looking for a way to exit it and make their new masters happy, you could say.
Yeah, and I think that's what it felt like as well with that with the movie. There was some very important parts that needed time to let it breathe, I think it's called, just so you could take in what just happened, but then immediately there'll be a joke. It'll be that Marvel humor.
Great.
That sarcasm.
Yeah, I wonder how many people, just because they didn't maybe go as far as the that TV show that killed off He-Man, I wonder if they'll see that and then think, see, that was a good movie because they didn't do that, and so thus their expectations are lowered. Maybe that could be why some people
they'll say
10.
They'll say it's a He-Man movie and He-Man's in it, and I enjoy what he does. Well, fans of the original series or who have watched the original series can say that kind of changed his personality a bit. Because from what I remember from the original series, it is about a prince trying to learn about his world and learning new lessons along the way.
And Skeletor comes along and is the one that teaches the life lessons, right? With remember.
Oh. Kind of. Talks a lot about loving being evil.
Remember, I love being evil.
Basically.
Someone's coming in. We have to go.
Well,
there.
he's safe in there.
Just a second. Well done. Way to subvert their expectations of victory. Victory jug.
Oops, someone dropped the golden sprite. You have it.
Oh my, thank you. Little blue one, you're out. Uh-oh.
All it does is gives bonus XP.
Wait, what? I don't want that.
Well, if it gives any more, then the black market for sprites are gonna get a bit more harsher because it would have given a bigger benefit. So more people want it. So yeah, XP and stuff like that, that's more cosmetic, while the more rare sprites give bigger benefits, but they cost a lot if you lose them to get them back.
You look so sad. Fine, you're coming with me, buddy. Someone's gliding in. They're both gliding in.
Let's try to go for cover then.
Who are they shooting at? Oh, wow, that hurt.
Some surf arrows here. Oop, they're on the roof. Oh, they were on the roof.
Okay, nice. Other guy's up there. It's probably gonna come in. Whoa!
Stand behind the wall. Health pack.
Oh, thank you.
Just stand behind this wall. Put the fire at him. See if he goes over to here. Yep, he's gliding over here. See if we can cut him off to wherever he is.
Oh, hello, buddy. Ow!
Got him.
Get him, Bastion. You can do it now.
Okay. That's one problem I've been having this season. Sometimes the weapons I pull out just don't want to fire.
Yeah. Troublesome weapons. I need my melee weapons. I dropped that golden sprite. Ugh.
Those extraction zones, you could buy
it says, do you prefer starting a match by storm surfing or dropping from the battle bus? Actually, I kind of like the storm surfing a little bit. I'm going to submit that. So, you were saying?
What was I saying? I guess I could talk about the He-Man movie again. Yeah, there's just... They try to make him awkward for no reason. And there's a lot of times where he's talking in HR speak. And it does not fit the setting.
Ah, yeah. Have you ever had to deal
I guess the best way...
Have you ever had to deal with HR?
No.
It's one of those groups that I kind of feel a bit of a connection with when in a similar sort of way as people have with insurance companies and when they see it in The Incredibles. If you get my drift.
I was just about to bring up The Incredibles.
It kind of has a similar sort of
I was gonna
to it.
Yes, I was gonna say the way he acts, yeah, and talks about HR would be if Bob started talking about insurance in the middle of a fight in The Incredibles.
Yeah, that would not go so well. I'm going to take a quick look at my notepad here, and then when we're choose a place to drop, and I will follow suit.
Right.
All right, let's see here. I need to start figuring out the schedule to this. So this needs to be done around rough draft by August. Oh, yeah, that works out. Fish needs to be done by July 15th. Generally. Okay, bailing.
Yeah, definitely the best part of the movie is when Skeletor is in beddings in Earth.
Oh
Just
my goodness, there's a lot
that
of people here.
Oh, yeah. Why are there a lot of people here?
Oh my. Be tactful.
This isn't even a drop. Yeah.
So you're saying, another thing about the movie.
No.
Uh-oh. All right, we will find a way to get the Bastion back here. Oh, okay. Someone off to my left. Someone up ahead. You are in there. Don't mind me! Smooth. Okay, going this way. What the heck? Thought I heard somebody. Alrighty. Obviously, rather than take you to a hospital, we are taking you to the car wash. A very logical place to revive somebody.
Of course. I get to wash the bullets out. Well, that's another. That's the unfortunate theme of this season. The car wash is a reference to money laundering.
There sure is I think that's far more common in our world than most of us realize. The more I kind of hear about local businesses, the more I'm like, a lot of these places can't operate. There's no way. But somehow, they are still making a substantial amount of cash. It makes, like I said, no sense.
Pecan insect.
Yeah, and then when you find out how the sausage is made, and you question, well, how has this been going on for so long without anyone noticing?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of them don't want to notice. And that's what's troubling me in many regards. It's one of the reasons why, actually one of the reasons why I don't do freelance anymore, because I was working for a lot of places that were, I don't think we're on the up and up. They were doing business, but they weren't selling anything. It's like in terms of volume, it's like, this really doesn't seem to make any sort of sense. And so while a lot of local businesses do, mostly restaurants, if they're selling merchandise and you never see anybody in their store, one of two things. Either they are exploiting a government loophole and they're using tax dollars to afford this fake business that they basically just stand there and do nothing. Or
weapon amuses me.
or they are doing something more nefarious with cartels.
Yeah.
Skeletor, if your skull is exposed, this could be a bit of a problem for you.
I'll get you for this.
I feel like Skeletor wasn't used as well as they could have in this.
Oh yeah,
Mode.
he definitely should have been a battle pass. Have everyone run around as Skeletor.
Yep. I'm glad that they did give him lines,
Voice
but I feel like they also should have done more with the lines.
I think this is an experiment, I guess, with adding voice lines to bosses, because before they've been gibberish, so
Yeah.
that any other people with different languages can understand.
Yeah, I always laugh when people say, "Oh, well, it's part of our style that we chose not to have voices." The first time I heard that was Nintendo. They're like, "Oh, no, we don't have a voice for Link. Obviously, it's part of the style." I mean, we didn't have voices
But they
early
have a voice for
on.
Mario.
Yeah, and then we didn't have a voice for Mario, and then oh well, now we do, and then suddenly people fall in love with the voice, and it transforms the character. Imagine if Mario never had a voice. There was never Mario 64 when the voice first happened. That would have not gone over so well. I think it would have aged very poorly. The voice made everything. It transformed their entire business. And so when you don't have a voice, it's a sneaky way just to say, "Oh, well, we don't have any interest in wanting to pay extra money, for more storage on our devices, or for voice actors and whatnot." It's infuriating because it's one of the most important things with telling a story. You want to have a voice, you want to have good visuals. If you just have text blocks, nobody knows, nobody cares. It's background noise, just visual. And so for this game, I remember them saying, "Oh, well, it's part of the style. We don't want them to all say things." Like, no, you're trying to find a sneaky way just to say that you don't want to pay for the voice acting or whatnot. That's what all came down to.
It's good with Skeletor because his voice is kind of iconic. So it's fine with him having voice lines, English voice lines, while there's two other bosses that also have voice lines. I don't know if they're dubbed differently for different regions.
But like if they had a Japanese character, like with when they brought in golly, what was
Season 6,
series?
that was the whole Japanese theme.
Oh yeah, there was that too. But I was trying to remember what Kamehameha. What was that part of?
Oh, Dragon Ball?
Dragon Ball. That's right. You can tell I never watched the show. When they brought in Dragon Ball, they could have had the Japanese voices for characters around the map, and I would have had no problem listening to the Japanese voice and having the subtitles.
Actually, I don't think there was any characters from Dragon Ball, but the Kamehameha item was was in its original Japanese.
Yeah, but what I meant is, like, if they had characters around the map, I know that they didn't at the time, but if they did, I would have had no problem with that.
Yeah, characters from their original dialect.
If they brought in asterisks from the European cartoon, I would have had no problem using the European voice. No problem whatsoever.
Which sure it is. A team. Seems like a bot.
Pretty aggressive bot.
On the hill.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's dangerous.
Ah, they got me killed.
There's the rabbit. Shoot.
Oh, you have a self-revive. Try to roll away.
Oof.
Oh, the fire got you.
Wait, oh, he did the fire. Oh, okay.
That's what the fire sprites do.
I thought that was the ability activating because it was Skeletor or whatnot. I was like, oh, that's weird. That's new.
No, Skeletor's shotgun is just a better version of the shotgun.
Yeah, that explains it. Well, that was a failure. Oh, well.
Yeah, they've been having a lot of Japanese anime crossover, so it would make sense if they did have a boss from one of those animes for them to speak Japanese.
Indeed. All right, here. Let's go with August 15 for that. I'm kind of doing this by month here. So first month will be fish. Second month will be animation. I'm doing the text thing again while we're waiting for the deployment. Yep. Be sure to choose another area on the map.
Yeah, I don't know why that part of the map that we landed had so many people.
Start of month for the Blender challenges, because this folks, I finally got that figured out, like I was mentioning about earlier. Going to be doing that Blender challenge, but this time we're going to be doing it as like a dedicated one time, one item per stream. It's not a scene, it's one item a stream. And this is where this is really going to come into play. Again, I've already been experimenting with this. I got 4 of them done within, I believe it was an hour each. And so I think it's going to pan out well. Oh, that's the other thing here. This is a side quest thing here. It's streaming. All right, I see that on the map. That sounds good. Side. Intro videos. There we go. All right. Bailing. Oh, would you look at that? Stream Boo decided to try and come along here. Banned. Wow, that account was created a long time ago. How did he get away with that? Huh. Must have stole somebody's account and then is using that. Report and spam. That's good. I think I'm good for streaming for 1 hour at this point, after which I will be bringing the stream to a close. So whatever rounds we get between now and then is what we got.
Right.
With your video editing, Bastion, what do you think the length of your next video will probably end up being? Possibly.
I'm gonna see if I can get to 20 minutes.
That could be good.
15 to 20 minutes. I'm deciding on how long I wanted to be, and I realized I need to cut some stuff out.
Yeah, having more is can be pretty easy to do. For narratives, it really pans out well to have more, but when you're trying to do videos for the internet, that grace period that people have for it really starts to become a little bit... Oh, there it is. It's back there. I have the vault key. It becomes a little bit more difficult to hold people's attention when it's for the web.
Yep.
How do we get down to this? I'm guessing it has to tear up the floorboards. Oh, no, here it is. Oh, sneaky little location. This is it. Oh, what an angry fire sprite. Inspiring. What a vault.
I have a vault key as well. It's all the way over there.
Okie dokie.
But for now, I've just been trying to design the character I want to make for the videos. Talk to my friend about it.
Wait, design the character?
Duck.
Ooh, a duck.
Yep, and been going back and forth on what type of design I want to have it. Would be like would it be a rubber duck? Would it be like, would it look like a regular duck?
Is this going to be for like an avatar sort of thing, or is this going to be for a puppet?
Somewhat, yeah. Avatar puppet. That's just the duck talking to the audience.
Ah. Whenever I think of that, I think of an old Sesame Street video where they start singing about Rubber Ducky, and it's embedded in my head even all these years later.
I think I've heard of it once, but I don't remember what the songs. fall again, so I'll be over there.
Wow, this circle is cutting off a lot of the map. Dang, that's like half the map for some of the folks.
Oh, someone's shooting.
Ooh, nicely done.
Oh, got it.
Team over here fighting.
Probably should go around them.
But this is our chance to ruin their day. Ooh, I haven't found you yet. King Sprite. I will carry you all.
King Sprite, if you get it to level 5, your pickaxe does 150 damage to players.
What the heck? That's overpowered.
Well, that's if you get it to level 5. So the best way to do that would be to extract it when it's at a high level, and then once you get to level 5 in the second playthrough.
I forget how you're supposed to, like, you know, save these things between rounds.
Either win the round, or in those extraction sites that get pinged every once in a while, they you wait for it to spawn a cache, and that's where you deposit them.
All right, well, let's go and try and do a deposit. I don't do this very often, but I kind of am at that state where I probably should.
They give you fairy dust, and so whenever you it's good to extract rare ones, because the one that I have, the pillow sprite, that one was the one that every time it levels up, it drops to a random item, and it dropped the golden boots from last time.
Oh golly!
Actually, I could drop it for you, and then the next match you could have it.
Well, ooh. So maybe oh wow, where do you find that one?
It's a rare sprite. Well, an epic sprite. So they're very hard to find. I think it's it's either 1 out of 100 or 1 out of 1,000. I think no. Yeah, 1 out of 100. So if you grab it, and when this falls down, you can place it in the cache.
Okay. Pick you up.
Just players do. No, that's a boss.
Okay, so I can't. The one they currently have, the king one, is almost leveled up. I have no idea how to level it up even more. Because is that level 1?
Just by opening containers or eliminating players.
Oh.
That's how you level them up.
What about eliminating a boss?
I think so. But you should probably put them in now, because it's going to despawn the cache.
Okay. Well, we'll try that again later.
You saved yourself this time. Time to fight.
All right, they've been placed in. Goodbye, little sprites. You'll be missed. Not really, but, you know, we'll pretend that we miss you. Now we're going to find this giant woman.
That's also how people trade sprites.
Oh.
Take you.
Oh, and then still doohickey. This computer, you could buy other stuff, and one of them is a portable extractor. So if you have a sprite that's about level 5 or is level 5 and you want to extract it, it goes in with your pickaxes. And it does the same thing as the extractor does, but for only the sprite that you have equipped.
Oh, enemy team showed up.
Okay.
Come on. Another team. Hopefully they ignore us.
They might be healing a person.
Someone else is here.
To get the slurp and leave this area. Still have that keycard location.
Oh, there's 2 of them down there.
Alright, I have the chaos loader. That's good against cars because of the explosion. Oh, they both got reboots.
Yeah.
The lot just came here.
Oh no, it's not good.
Are you?
Blast. Whatever, I didn't want to be rebooted.
And they took the reboot van. I need health more than anything. Oh,
Look at that, you got health.
only 10.
Oh, look at that, we disconnected from the stream. I'm not entirely surprised. It is that time of evening where that tends to happen. Around 12, that is when all the connections like to be severed for like 5 seconds. Looks like we're back online. I know, to the great dismay of many.
Okay, here's right. Okay, it wasn't letting me deploy my glider.
There's reboots. There's a lot of reboots around you. Oh no, that's not good. Good extraction. Ooh, bananas. Ugh. Oh, there's a lot of people right there. Good maneuver.
That. I just abandoned this one and go for the other one.
Sounds good. Having an umbrella has always been one of the weirdest things to me about this game. Like a glider's one thing. An umbrella? Is everyone Mary Poppins around here?
Yeah, it's just that silliness that they originally had.
Indeed. Back when they were using, shopping carts in order to go flying around the map.
That's one thing that people are talking about because of the recent skins that have been releasing. That Fortnite isn't really it wasn't originally an E for everyone game, but it is rated T for teens.
There's I know that there's a lot of games where they started out as being in the teen category, and then they realize that they get more money when they go the other route. And there's sometimes where things are made E for everybody, and after some time you start realizing they're not doing that. Like, they're not trying to be in that category anymore, but yet they'll do things that cross the line, and they use like new content to try and change the rating. All I got was fish. Bland,
Yeah, definitely with the
boring fish.
Legos and Disney because they own a lot of the game now.
Yeah. Silly.
But they've said that it's only for Disney-related stuff. Here, shoot some fish.
Oh. Thank you. Big fish and little fish. Wait, what happened to the fish I had earlier? Oh, they're in that slot. Good enough.
But another thing is that this game's like 8-9 years old now, so definitely the people that were kids back when Fortnite was just getting started, now in their late teens.
Exactly.
Joints are acting up again.
Skeletor, we're going to ignore you because you are in a dangerous place for us. I do not have
Right in
very
this
good
bush.
weapons here. Let me go fishing from up here. No, I don't see any fish down there. There we go. Fishing hole. All the way from up here.
I'd say that for anything that they try to make more mature, there definitely should be an option to turn off certain skins or systems that they have.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that I've seen games do that, unfortunately, I think that they don't really think about the consequences, long-term consequences of their decisions. I don't know the names of the games that come to mind, but I see them appear in like my social media feeds when I just kind of press, what currently is trending, which I don't do a whole lot, but I've been doing that as of late because I've been trying to understand kind of the mindset some people have. And there's one batch of stuff that, oh, that was not me. That sounded like somebody else.
Yeah, they're gathering over there in that building.
I'm coming over to you. I'll hold that thought. Too bad we don't have
I'm gonna go
rockets.
in there. Oh yeah, they made it so in zero build because there's no building and less cover. We do less damage to buildings.
Oh, about time.
Cover's right behind us, or the circles, triangles behind us.
It's good. It's good for us.
Oh, they're right on top of the roof.
Yep. Come down here and say hello to us, please. You're right there. You weren't joking about we don't do a whole lot of damage to the buildings.
Nope. Yeah. Probably should be moving now that they're looking for cover.
Well, they're still going to be pushed towards us. Oh, here they come.
Going in. That's a little bit too good of an aim.
Oof. Blast.
Where's a hero to fight me?
Where's a hero to fight? That's a good line. Clever, Skeletor.
But now that you extracted that pillow spray, you can equip it for next match. For the next match.
But I might lose it.
When you lose it, once you've extracted one type of sprite, you could use the sprite dust to get them back for another game.
Oh, that's great.
And that's why that's kind of why you want to keep on extracting sprites, because then you get more sprite dust, and then you can use that to always get the sprite that you want.
Oh, I'm slowly getting the idea behind this. I've been so busy trying to play the normal game that I've been forgetting how to, play this collect 'em all Pokemon style sprite game.
Right now, the rarer sprites, barely anyone has them, but as the season goes on, as people keep on bringing them into matches, other people will take their sprites and then they'll use the sprite dust to get them back, and essentially creates 2.
Mm.
And so it just multiplies the rare sprites. So eventually, later down the season, a lot more people are gonna have the rare sprites.
It's going to be quite a problem in many regards. I can kind of foresee.
Yeah, because they're gonna add new sprites soon. Where's that?
Yes, I feel like the longer the season goes on, the more dangerous the other players are going to become.
For right now, it hasn't been anything too drastic. The sprites. I wonder what the wind sprite's gonna do when it comes back. Cause that one you used to throw, and then it create this circle where you go in and it shoots you up, and then you can use the glider again. They might make it where you can just jump or have 0 gravity.
All right,
I guess these are similar to the medallions and then the perks that we used to get in the 4th chapter.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say it sounded a little familiar. In terms of getting
And
the
Blitz
special
had them for a
abilities.
little bit. Yep. But with this pillow sprite, every time it levels up, it drops a random item. And the higher the level, the rarer the item.
So the thing I was saying before we got to the end game was companies don't seem to understand the fallout, some of their decisions, and how some things just won't age well. One thing that I've been very discouraged by in the world of games is that people tend to think that gamer mindset should be allowed to kind of do whatever, and they should be allowed to kind of enjoy whatever or whatnot. And I'm not a fan of that. Oh, hello, buddy. I did not want to fight you here. But thankfully, you just came with a pistol. Huzzah. One of those games that I think is not going to age very well. Actually, first let me mention one that did not age well. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get upset with some of these sorts of references. So maybe it's again good that these are fairly small streams. One of those games that I'm certain has one of those games that has not really aged very well in terms of material is golly, what was it? It was just on the tip of my tongue, and then I forgot it. What was that?
Well, what's the genre of the game?
It was one of those adventure games. And it had... Dang, it slipped my mind. Let me instead go with ones that are currently going on that, is probably not going to age well. One of the games that I'm certain, beyond a shadow of a doubt, will not age well is Poppy Playtime.
Oh, yeah.
There's-
They're already having a lot of problems right now. Just with gameplay and story.
Yeah, there's so many ethical issues with that game they act as if gamers are going to always be the same, and there's a lot of people in this world that are not, that do not like the idea of child torture as being a genre that should be permitted, and that's what that game is, child torture.
Yep.
Gully, you could say Five Nights at Freddy's is like the limit of where it should go, because a lot of it happened in the past. But if you were in the process of playing the game and it was happening live, that would be another thing entirely. Whereas Poppy Playtime is doing it live. A lot of the stuff is actively happening.
It's doing it live and then some.
Yeah, it's adding immense amounts of gore. Immense amounts. Another one that I do not believe is going to age well, and this one is maybe a little harder for a lot of current gamers to think about. What's the name of the game? It's Stellar Blade, the one where there's kind of the inappropriately clothed main character.
Yeah.
It's getting a pass right now in many regards, but they're behind us. Godzilla. Dang. That was a
That
lot
had
of
a good
ones.
weapons, close range. Yeah.
So what I noticed though with the gameplay of that one is the people that everyone does stuff tongue-in-cheek in the gaming world. They'll say, I'm totally doing this for the story, and then they'll look at the camera and blatantly basically admit that no, I'm not, because then they'll go to an angle and then try and make sure that plays as clearly as possible. It's like, that's absolutely not what you're doing it for. But they'll carry on. They will carry on and live in denial. Well, pretend denial, because then that way legally they're kind of covered. Because when the culture's winds change, then you're going to be in trouble. And that's the thing I don't think gamers truly understand is culture does change, and it changes fast. And when I mean fast, I don't mean like tomorrow suddenly that stuff's going to be outlawed. But I am saying that the winds are changing right now. And as more scandals start coming out, as more people start to comprehend what the fallout is, they will start to become more paranoid, and then they're going to start to target those who were encouraging it or delighting in it. And I just remembered the game that I was mentioning earlier that hasn't aged well. World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft fell, and I remember the day that this happened because I was with, I was rooming with a bunch of guys. It was so sad. We were 3 guys in a basement that were interning, and I was in a deflating mattress. Every night I would inflate it, I'd wake up and it was completely deflated. But he was a big Blizzard fan. He introduced me to the Blizzard franchise as a whole. And I was very impressed with the cinematics. I didn't really know much about the gameplay. And so then he would tell me about it. And then the scandals that hit Blizzard first were heard about. And they were bad. Now, they were unproven at the time. Nobody knew if they were real or not, but the scandals were enough that it made the player base collapse. And it never recovered after that. They tried, company fell to pieces. And people look at the game and they start to notice, hey, you did some pretty inappropriate things in these games. And we kind of gave it a pass early on until we discovered what you guys were doing behind the scenes. And then suddenly the winds changed overnight and the company ended up in serious trouble. I mean, there is a reason why in recent years there has become kind of this understanding of the Cosby Room, and that was because of the Blizzard scandals that were happening.
I've heard of it. I still don't understand it fully.
Yeah, it's probably best that you don't. Oh!
Did you fall off a building?
Well, I was pulling out my glider and I hit the side of the building. And I decided apparently that I did not want to pull out my glider for the rest of the time as I fell. So, yeah, that's something to look out for.
Yeah, I think you survive on 1 HP if it's a lethal fall, but only when you do the animation. So I guess you just lucked out and had the animation where, right when these are real players. Right where it was deadly, but didn't have the. Nice job. Where it'd be lethal, but wouldn't activate the saving grace of the 1 HP.
But anyway, all that to say that these things unfortunately have... Oh, here, let me give that to you. I forgot this does not do shield. Oh, no. Oh, just disregard.
Right. I'll look for another Coca-Cola.
Wow, I am so selfish. I'm just gonna drink this in front of you while you are suffering. I'm gonna sit out here in the pool and think about what I've done.
When I watched other YouTubers who talked about games and other stuff that's happening in culture, there was one who there's this one guy who used to work at Blizzard, and something did seem off for me about him, and then the allegations came out that it wasn't too groundbreaking, it wasn't anything to put his reputation in danger. It was the past he had in certain jobs, making certain stories for certain audiences.
Yeah.
And having multiple websites for that.
Yeah. So when I look at a lot of games right now, including things like Stellar Blade, I can't help but get suspicious. I'm not saying that that's an allegation, but I am indeed saying that we as the consumers have to be wary that people that make stuff like that, especially those that put it out there for sale, there's a good reason to believe that they actually are, not the most up and up people to begin with.
Yep.
Another game that I think is going to very much not age well. Oh, by the way, I found some shield for you.
Thank you.
I just threw a glass bottle on top of the asphalt, and somehow it still stands.
That doesn't break, but your legs break.
Exactly. Resident Evil. I think that franchise... Oh. Was that just this character?
It's probably the bot I heard. Yeah, I think there's still that glitch where whenever you hire someone, there's some footsteps at first.
Hmm.
I don't know about Resident Evil. I think there's just too many fans of it.
You know what the story's about, right? Generally.
Generally, yeah, just this corporation messing with spores or diseases, and it spreads.
Yeah. Have you ever watched gameplay of it? Or played it
Yes.
yourself? Okay. What would you say was the most disturbing thing that you saw?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff. From personal experience, I remember watching my cousins play it and watching a guy's head get blown up and then tentacles coming out of it.
One of the things, oh, there's somebody down there. One of the things that a lot of people in the entertainment world forget about is the, oh yeah, perfect, is the ethical conscience that people have when something dark becomes, wait, how do we activate this again? Oh, it's right here.
There's a small
There we go.
button.
When somebody is disturbed by the soul of a product, this is one of the biggest issues that I take with Poppy Playtime. Think about the darkness, the dark aspects of the Resident Evil games. There's a lot of pure evil that takes place in them. And right now, it's not really a problem for a lot of people in our society. And I think a lot of people of conscience right now don't truly understand what it is that is in the game. But I do believe that, let's see here. Put this guy in. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, no, wait. What the heck?
Oh well.
How many did you put
I
in
didn't drop
there?
any of them. I just put in one. I thought you already put in one yourself.
I put in one too. I thought it did
No.
3.
It could go up to like 6. Actually, I don't think there's a limit. You have an inventory full of sprays and just drop them all in.
Well, better make a call back here.
Was that cooldown? But with Resident Evil, I think it's kind of like an allegory against corporations and the evil that comes from it, but to the extreme. And it is definitely that extreme that
There's a lot of
is
things
probably.
that take place where it gets super grotesque, though. And that's where the moral conscience, I think, is going to trigger in people. Because right now, I can definitely guarantee you that probably about 60%, if not 70% of our culture doesn't even know what Resident Evil is. I would not be surprised. Okay. Let's
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about a lot of popular games. Just always sticks into the
What?
with the what was it? Did it leave again? Oh yeah, whenever you leave that probably what triggers it to leave.
The command center of this area is pretty troublesome here. Houston, we have a problem. Like, one of the things I can definitely guarantee is that if I had, there's the types of games that I would play if I was just if I was into that sort of stuff and I suddenly ended up with a family, I would get very concerned about having that stuff around, because morally, even if I'm somebody who would think that that stuff would be fine, there's a lot of potential that you could damage the psychological state of your kids, especially if
Better
they
start them off with
super young.
Pokemon or.
Yeah, but if you start them, if you're showing them, you're not showing your kids things that are R-rated. Resident Evil is technically R-rated. Is very grotesque. And it's very dark. The values that are being pushed in it. Life is not valued. The slaughter that takes place is absurd. The torment and the other thing is, it is a demonic transformation fever dream. And that part, I think that we're getting very close to people drawing a line. I do think that is coming very soon. What the heck? Obey the cube. Serve the Voyager. Obey the Voyager.
Oh yeah, he won last season.
The Jewel is upset. Poor Jewel. Jewel is crying. Poor Jewel. Oh, hello.
Okay, didn't want to switch to my shotgun.
Oof. Ouch. I should not have been shooting at that Jewel. I didn't realize how close we were to the end game there. I didn't realize that we were in the end game. At least we got the sprites extracted. That was actually quite a few there. Quite a few, meaning I got 2 out.
So with Resident Evil and that demonic stuff, I do remember seeing that in one game there it is cult form, and that's why it's the disease is spreading in one place.
Mm-hmm.
But there is one game that specifically revolves around one family just turning evil and senile because of the disease, and it's its soul soul story.
So there's a genre out there, and it is not a healthy genre. It eats away at you and actually makes life very difficult to kind of rebound. And it has to do with mutilation and with mutilation and transformation. And what Resident Evil does is that's why I said earlier it's a bit of a fever dream with that sort of stuff, because transformation right now, it is I've seen people on social media giving like these, if only this thing was possible, then we could be able to, not saying this directly, but a lot of it was implied. If only this sort of stuff could happen, then we could become whatever we kind of wanted. And we'll just leave it at that and say that they were people that were confused in terms of who they were born to be. And somehow that sort of stuff gave them like this high of somehow they could make themselves be different and, mutate into something that would suit what in their mind they imagined. And some people are like, that's ridiculous. That's not really what goes on in people's minds. And I used to think so too. And then I realized actually, that's a very common problem right now, especially in younger generations. And so that's
Probably not a common problem, but there are definitely strong circles of that problem.
Yeah, well, that's why more what is referring to. You're correct to make that distinction there.
Because the game could go on about the evils of it, but then there will be people that would say, well, that would be cool if that was possible. Just ignoring all the story that's been told.
That's one of the problems when you make something that you start to delight in evil. And the game that I actually became familiar with that this was a problem was Resident Evil. What was it? I don't know the chronology of this. What was it? I don't know the numbers, so I'm probably going to get it mixed up anyway. But anyway, there was a moment where it was a reference to this that took place, and the guy that was streaming made the connection for the audience, and just kind of gave the look of like, you guys kind of get what I'm talking about. Again, kind of like what I said earlier about how some people will say, kind of like with a wink and a nod, and somehow you're just supposed to think that somehow they don't actually mean what it is that they're saying. That was when I realized, okay, there's something else that's going on here. Sure, maybe it's not the full story, but it's enough to where I can't overlook it without realizing that there is some sort of connection. But anyway, that's one of the reasons why I look at that game and think that it's not going to age well, because right now we're in a culture that is starting to turn back to Christianity. And the closer that they start to get back to Christ, the more I believe that they're going to start to see that really what Resident Evil is a dream of hell. And that's just kind of a scary prospect, especially the more that you try and improve. Oh, wonderful.
Down here.
This house is a maze. And not amazing. It's just a maze. Ooh. What a portrait. Look at all them sprites. One. We got two. Okay, perfect. A duck. Don't have a duck yet. Actually, I don't really have a fire sprite either. All right, so then we need an extraction point. There was a movie, well, not a movie, it was a TV show. It was called, I believe, Absolution. It was a pilot film, a pilot series. 3 episodes were made. They were going to make something like 12 for the season, and they were including people from the local area. One of the actresses reached out, and because she was at my church, and said, hey, I would like you to look at this series and give your 2 thoughts on it, because we're looking for people to give us reviews. And so I got a special link to be able to review the films, the series. And in the process, after the first episode, I was so utterly disgusted that I gave the first review, and they said, you don't understand this. This series gets better. It'll all make sense by the time you get to number 3. And number 2 came out, and it was just as bad. And then number 3 came out, and it was horrendous. And it wasn't like visually stunning. It was actually a very poorly done series. But it was deeply troubling in terms of ethics. All right, so put this guy in, put this guy in. Okay, and put this guy in. Yeah, put them all in. Why not? Wait a minute, my sprite! I do not know how to use that thing very well. Okay, well, bye, little blue buddy. I'll be back for you.
You'll be in a lobby.
Yeah. But yeah, so Absolution was... It disturbed me because... Not because it was high quality sort of film, but the subject matter was so anti-Christian that I could not tolerate it. And here's the real catch. It was being made by self-proclaimed Christians. And they were about as unchristian as you could have gotten, because what it was a zombie movie. A zombie series. Now, in the world, a zombie movie is a very appealing sort of story. It's a evil character that you can basically eliminate without a second thought. And in the world's eyes, that's pretty convenient. You need some sort of conflict, and you can't rely upon people having a moral conscience about it. So you're like, hey, we'll just give you something that attacks blindly, no moral issue whatsoever. A lot of people use that storyline, and I'm not necessarily saying that's a terrible storyline, but this is where it did get bad. Because in the story, the characters, if they get bitten by the zombies, become zombies. Now, for a lot of people, you know that story trope already. It's been introduced quite frequently in the zombie sort of genre. But a lot of zombie movies don't actually go there. They'll say that, oh, well, they're villains that you just have to shoot for the sake of it or whatnot, and they just kind of let it slide. This one was tried and true, the original zombie sort of concept. You are attacked by zombies, and now the zombies are able to transform you into them. Now, look at it from a Christian worldview. You suddenly have you're getting attacked, and then you run away, you are successful, and you're all congratulating each other, and then you look over, and one of your friends has a red mark on their arm. They've been bitten. And they look at you, and they have been your friend for a long, long time. And suddenly you quiver as you pull out the pistol, and without a second thought, gun them down. That was the series. That was the big plot point that they said you have to wait till episode 3 to know about why this is such a great story. And I basically screamed at them, what the hell are you doing? You are encouraging Christian brothers and sisters to default attack each other when they start to become transformed from zombies. And you made this a Christian story. Where is the healing? Where is the redemption arc? There is none. Basically, it became, you're doomed. Let's get rid of you as quickly as possible, which made me so infuriated to see that. And I get even more angry. I got even more angry as time went on, and I looked back and realized they were doing this to kids. They were trying to teach them this was the way to go about dealing with people that you disagree with in that sense. Well, I voiced my opinions on, and I went very thorough with them. I gave scriptural backing. I was trying to avoid making it an issue of that someone could, you know, try and argue away. I wanted to make it as convincing as possible. Well, that ended up not really happening. They ended up still lashing out, saying, "Well, you're just hating on it because you're not involved with the project. You're not a fan of it because you were a homeschool shut-in." But they were pulling out all the stops to try and change the narrative without addressing the moral fabric of the argument. I think it's kind of a warning to many of us that it's very easy to write off our entertainment.
He was killed right in the air.
Oh, good point. Yeah, I'll pause that story for just a moment. This is a little bit dangerous. They're in the vehicle, it looks like. Yep. Wait a minute, was that me or was that someone else?
It's probably someone else. Someone shot that other guy from in the air.
That look.
Saw someone up there earlier.
Whoa, this is not going to be good. All right, oh wait, that's you. This one though is really good.
Yeah, there's
Hold on.
gunshots up there.
I need to get to an extraction point.
We can go back to there.
Oh, actually, that's a good point. Further away is probably better.
Someone's shooting at us. Is it the same guy?
All right, well, just keep running.
Oh, I have a rift.
I got my knees. Sir, you're fast. You must be really quick on your feet. No, I'm quick on my knees. But so when I look at the Resident Evil games or other games that have very nice. Or I look at other games that have similar sort of effects where somebody transforms, the more I start to see kind of that same sort of story arc coming into play, and the more troubling it gets. Hey, buddy, where do you come from? Are you No, you can't pick it up. He's a glitch.
It's from someone's back bling. Yeah.
All right, show up faster. It's taking forever. This is dangerous. Come at me. I have the power. What the heck? That was anticlimactic.
Yeah. Oh, Stone's
All right,
here.
you all are in there. Get out of here. Wonderful. All right, drive this bus, Miss Frizzle. Wait a minute.
I saw that chest. I was about to say unfortunate, but we kind of have to leave.
Okay, I'm coming. Wonderful.
Probably go around those people.
I need to find myself another weapon
there's no-
somewhere. Oh, this guy right next to us. Watch out. Yeah.
Oop, that one's low. They're both low. Make sure they don't get pincered by them.
Can't. I gotta reload. Dang nabbit. I should have had another weapon. I didn't. Because I was too busy picking up the silly sprites. I blame you, Peanut.
I have not found the Peanut one yet. I don't know what he does. Also, yeah, there's a bunch of controversies with him.
Oh, with the player or with the sprite itself?
With the player, the VTuber.
Oh, is something new come up?
Well, people found out that he had this event called Slur Saturday or something like that.
Hmm.
And when I heard that, heard the people talking about that, they did mention that he didn't actually say any slurs. It was just being edgy for edgy's sake.
Okay, I can go for one more here, and I'm going to use this Dream Sprite. Now that I have enough to use it with. So the concept of having that moral fabric of your society is starting to return. And the question is, how much has it returned? I kind of have a sneaking suspicion it's going to return in full force. And I think it's because I think a lot of people got spooked. And the gaming world as a whole has kind of had its freedom for a bit too long. And no, I'm not saying that you need to crack down on gaming, whatnot. That's not what this is about. I'm more addressing that it kind of was sheltered from, I think, a lot of what could have happened when Blizzard got the crackdown. I think a lot more people could have gotten in trouble. I think a lot of people could have also looked at the situation and say, how in tarnation has this been going on for so long? Maybe there is a cause and effect. And by the way, there is a cause and effect. I don't really know if I can draw that connection myself just yet, but I have noticed with my time with the YouTubers that there is a cause and effect. And I don't know how deep it goes and how quickly, but there's definitely some sort of connection. But if you have...
Yeah, even with indie games, there's problems with it. Because it is now solely in the hands of one or a few people, so they get to decide everything about it. I remember hearing about this very popular game. I think it was just called Celeste. And I think there's 2 points about it. One was the gameplay itself. It was a platformer, and it was basically just this girl that was climbing up a mountain. And second point is the parentheses around girl, and apparently it was secretly about someone becoming a transsexual person. So when it comes to that, they get indie games, they can just load it up with whatever they want, and as long as the gameplay is popular enough, there'll be people who play it for the gameplay and just hopefully skip over the other stuff. But then you'll have those circles where they hyper fixate on it.
Yep. I raised this point to some of the people back when I was with the YouTubers, and some of them, I think some of them understood, and some of them, well, most of them, were like, "That's ridiculous. Don't be so hung up on that. Don't impact my fun," sort of people. And it's difficult because in many ways you're not trying to impact somebody's, quote, fun. But when your fun starts to come at the expense of the morality of a society, it starts becoming a lot more difficult to overlook. Just like how the Gladiator games were fine until, you could say, until people of moral conscience looked at it and is like, what the heck are you doing? And people are like, what? These are criminals. Obviously, they deserve it. We're just giving them, a
Just
little
another
bit
form
of
of hopscotch.
Sorry?
It's just another form of hopscotch.
Yeah. Yep, indeed. And so you have all these people that are wanting to defend it because, well, they enjoy it. And then you have the people that are like, what's the heart of the issue? And I think right now, with society getting to where it is, right here. Got some of this right here.
Oh yeah.
I think that we're getting to that point of where we're willing to start to have that conversation, and I think it will come full force if we are asleep at the wheel, you could say. One of those ways that this kind of comes into play is actually I called that in a little early, but whatever. One of the ways that this comes in play is with the nations that are becoming the central hubs for the gaming community. Recently, Saudi Arabia entered the fray, and we know that China's been in the fray. Now, if you know anything about Saudi Arabia and China, they both very much are government-controlled, ethically strict cultures. And if you try and tell them to behave in if you tell them that they need to apply their morals in terms of Western values, they will laugh at you. Well, they keep buying up the competition right now, and pretty soon you're going to have people that are probably going to be dictating your values based upon CCP values or the values of Saudi Arabia, and that's going to get pretty harsh for a lot of Westerners. And things like Stellar Blade is or things like Resident Evil are not going to be well received.
So, I'm not going to disclose who it is, but I do have a friend that does work for Activision.
Ooh.
And he says the one good thing about them being partly owned by a Chinese company is that there wasn't a rainbow flag for this month on their banner.
Yep, there's some people that are gonna. There's some pros to it. There's also some cons, and that's one of the pros in my opinion.
Went up there. Should probably watch out for if they have any snipers.
Yeah.
Probably get something to heal.
So one of the things that you will see, though, is let's say, for example, for people that know about Saudi Arabia and Arabic nations, you know that their values kind of get acted upon in waves. Sometimes they act immediately on it, and other times it takes generations for their values to trigger. And in Arabic culture, the things that you see in Stellar Blade or Resident Evil are to the point of where you would end up in serious trouble. Oh, didn't mean to go down like that. Nicely done.
Right, he's down.
They're spriteless, huh?
Both right. Oh, it's a gummy one. I'm taking it.
Gummy. You can eat it later on, I understand.
You watch. They're watching me take it. All right. He's in the lobby now.
Wait, what?
Because he dropped it. You can buy these portable extractors with Sprite dust in those extraction areas, and so you don't need to call them down every time. But they're expensive, so it's used on rare sprites, which the gummy ones are very rare.
Ah.
That's another thing. Live service, Fortnite, stuff like that. People that chase this, where you have to pay kind of every month, they're dying down.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we just destroyed cars.
And that's kind of
Boom.
the problem with that, because then indie games will start popping up again, becoming popular and
Oh, there's someone up ahead.
stuff like that. Okay. Stuff like that. Yeah. Where is this? It's actually a collaboration right now with an indie animation, animated series, and from the very start, there's some problems in it. It's about people getting stuck in this digital world. And tell that it's for certain types of people, mainly because one of the characters goes by, it's kind of redundant, or ironic, because they go as they, them, but you can tell it's a lady. And she doesn't want to feel like she's an object, but at the same time, she kind of is calling herself an object.
Ugh, that's unfortunate. I think that's something that people don't realize, is that a lot of times when you hear indie game maker, the people that can afford to do that are not the people that you generally want to have in charge. Yes, you do get some people that do make good stuff, that do have the time, that do have the money to make it work, but a lot of the times the people that have the money, have the time, are not good people. And I've noticed a lot of indie games that are like 90% of them are just bad.
Yes, there's just so much bloat in the indie games.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to wrap it up for right now, folks. Thanks, Bastion, for participating. Much appreciated. It was some good fun there. And thanks for helping to clarify the mystery of the sprites. And I keep wasting the sprite dust. Unfortunately, is not being used very effectively.
With the pillow sprite, it's best to get it to like level 2 or 3 and then extract it so that the next game you can have it reach level 5, and I think that's when it drops the boots.
Alright, I'll have to...
Because levels carry over if you extract it.
Alrighty, well, I'm going to say to those that are out there still, possibly, that thanks for coming by. Hope you have a pleasant evening and morning, wherever you are. Just a reminder, be civil to one another. And we will see you next time, whenever that is. Until then, folks, have a very
Good night.
pleasant evening.